So much for joining us. This is Flip Flops and Hot Mics. I am Omar Solis, Director of National Accounts for Margaritaville at Sea, otherwise known as O Margaritaville. And we have the incomparable, the indomitable, the illustrious Miss Trish Smith. Trish, talk to us. Let's kick off our shoes. Let's turn up the volume and tell us about your origin story. Are you a superhero? Are you a villain? Tell us about yourself. How you got in this incredible industry that we call home.
Well, villains are always more fun. Villains are sexy, so I am a villain. However, my origin story and how I got into travel. So I've been a travel agent for a little over 14 years. And I actually planned my own destination wedding. We had a travel agent, which is a funny story. We had a travel agent and she was taking the money, doing all the things, but I was the one sending all the emails, making sure everybody was where they needed to be, had everything they needed to have. And after that, I realized she got paid and I didn't. So I was like, let's change that. And I decided to become a travel agent.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. That's a great origin story. All right. Now let's get into that first segment, by the way, is our first port of call or origin story for our villainous. Segment two, the three C's. You've traveled with us. You were a wonderful guest on my first Big Fam. Um, Talk to us about the three C's. That's going to be the first C is crew, the second C is cuisine, and the last C is cabin. So tell us about your thoughts about your experience with those three things and anything else that you want to throw in there.
Sure. So, first of all, thanks for having me on board. That
Oh, you're
was
very welcome.
phenomenal. Your big fam, and you honored little old me with my presence. First of all, let's talk about the crew. The crew was phenomenal. My room steward was just smiles every day, and when I did get to see him, because he was like a little ninja, quietly creeping in, getting my room cleaned, and then gone before I could get back. But everything was sparkly. It's not like he was avoiding me. He was just so good at his job that he would have been in there and gone. Because you know me, I was out partying all day, getting
Indeed.
my subjects in order, because that's what us villains do. That's first of all, the crew was amazing. The bartenders, I don't even drink. So, for me to say the bartenders were amazing. Those mocktails, or AKA expensive juices, were delicious. And I did have the soda package. So, I had my little shark carrying it around. I had the soda package. And they always treated me with such respect. Of course, I tip, I'm a big tipper. However, even when I forgot my little dollars back in my room, they were still super amazing. The crew, that was number one. Now the cabin, again, my cabin was tip top, spotless, absolutely tip top clean. It was gorgeous. It was large. It was plush. It was bright. It was colorful. Now that I'm gonna be honest, Mark. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, Margaritaville, it was bright. I'm not used to the bright cabin. However, it made me feel fun when I came back in. It made me feel fun because I'm used to those serene, simple colors, and I think that makes me sleepy when I get back to my cabin. I'm ready to go to bed. But when I came back to my festive, bright colored cabin, I actually was kind of still awake. I was like, okay, I think I got my second win. I think that's the only reason you saw me at karaoke at night. Um, the cuisine, I was pleasantly surprised. Now there was controversy on my first day. I'm going to tell you. Lean in, y'all, lean in. There was controversy on my first day. The cheeseburger in paradise. Now I've sailed your rival cruise line.
We shan't name who they are.
We shan't name who they are, but I've sailed your rival cruise, and I'm going to tell you, their burger has been the best burger at sea for me so far. The cheeseburger in paradise, I have to give it up. I have to give it up. The cheeseburger in paradise was it. I was floored. But that's just a cheeseburger, guys. We're talking about sitting down, five-star restaurant quality dining. I'm a sugar baby. I love a lot of sugar. I love my desserts. Those were phenomenal. The seafood was cooked just right. I never had anything overcooked or undercooked with seafood because that's huge for me. Because I eat a lot of seafood. I don't eat a lot of beef. I don't eat a lot of pork. So my seafood not being overcooked, undercooked is huge. It's important. That's important.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And myself and Trish, we go back a couple of years. We've been around the world together on different fam trips and different places. So I take your praise And I thank you for that because I know you are a hard person to impress. All right. Next, let's talk about segment three. We call it the Parrot Head Playbook, Selling the Dream. Talk to us about best practices, best sales approach for Margaritaville at Sea clients, who the perfect guests, group sales tips, if you have any favorite tools or resources from the Tradewinds portal.
First of all, I want to talk about the who you want to sell this to. I think we should start there first because you have to know your client. You have to know your clientele. You know me. We've, like you said, we've traveled around the world. I've laid my head down in resorts, down the hall from you, and woke up into some beautiful places. And I'm not easily impressed. He's honest about that. I'm not easily impressed. I was easily impressed here because I am still a fun person. I love to have fun.
That's
We
yours.
love to crack jokes. We love karaoke. We love all the things. So one of the first things is your client a fun person? If your client is a stick in the mud, this ain't the one. This ain't it. Because we're having fun on this ship. We're having a great time. So that's number one. Is your client someone who wants to enjoy themselves and have fun? Number two, do they like good food? That's number two. Do they like good food? You want to make sure that that's someone that you're going to have on here. But number three, your client has to be someone who is a little bit laid back. Now, they may not be someone who is like overly posh, but definitely laid back. They're a go with the flow. Let's have some fun. Let's see what happens kind of person. Those are the kind of people that I encountered while I was on that fam trip. I encountered, and I talked to a lot of your clients that were on that ship, and they were like, we really like this because we can relax. We have some little quiet nooks and corners that I found that are on my YouTube channel. I found some quiet nooks and corners. Sorry, I gave away the secrets. But I also found that my room was, even though it was colorful, it was still relaxing. That balcony breeze, that breezy balcony was a great space. So you want to definitely narrow in on your client, someone who likes to have fun, someone who is still laid back, someone who enjoys good cuisine. I know that you guys really salute the military, and with today being Veterans Day, thank you for that tear jerking celebration that I was
Thank
able
you.
to attend. My son is a Marine. And so we honor our military. We honor those who've defended our freedoms, who are running headfirst into danger, who are laying it all, literally, possibly making the ultimate sacrifice. And the way that you guys honored them, that was huge for me. As a military mom, that was pristine. So that again, those military men, they've laid it all on the line. So for them to get on that ship and really enjoy themselves, to really be again laid back but having a lot of fun because there are a lot of them, that's their brothers in arms, their sisters in arms are on that ship,
Absolutely.
and so they're enjoying themselves.
And
So
for anybody,
that's number one.
sorry, not
Oh,
not to
no, no,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off, but
That's number
for
one.
any military, any of our heroes is what we call them, who are watching this. Thank you so much. Today of all days, of course, on Veterans Day, I just want to give you a personal shout out, and I have to agree with you. I've seen. I don't want to call it similar because it's not similar. No, nobody does it quite like us. So if you haven't experienced it, how about this? How about you plug your YouTube channel really quickly because this incredible advisor here is a influencer in her own right. And you can learn some things from her and how she does her social media is outstanding. You want to drop the how to find it?
Absolutely. So Trish's Timeless Travels, Trish apostrophe S, Trish's Timeless Travels is my YouTube channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Trish Smith, Instagram, Trish D Smith, and TikTok, Trish Smith 18. And you can see a lot of the fun that we were having, and you can see the full hero salute that I was able to go to. That brings me to the whole how to sell. How to sell this. You definitely want to sell this to groups who are traveling together. This is a groups cruise. This ship that I was on, the Islander, is definitely a groups cruise because everyone's going to get together. They're going to, one of the things that I loved, even though it was a fam, one of the things that I loved was I saw groups of families together. I saw the small kids. I saw generations together. This is a generations cruise where they're going to get on this ship. They're going to have a lot of fun. So families who are traveling together, especially especially those, again, those military families who may have been gone away. Maybe they've been deployed and they're back home, and everybody wants to celebrate them returning back home. But the girls' trips, the girls we was out here. We was out there on that ship, and we were making friends with other girls who were on girls' trips.
That you
So this
were.
is
That you were.
definitely a groups cruise. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. I think when I first, former travel advisor myself, I owned my own agency for 12 years. And when I stepped on board Islander for the first time, I was like, my travel agent had, or travel advisor, sorry, we don't say that word anymore. My travel advisor had suddenly came on, and I was like, man, I could sell a lot of this. And I just thought of milestone groups, birthdays, anniversaries, wedding proposals, multi-generational families, like you mentioned, social groups, musical groups, like all types of different group activities. Now, mind you, to be clear, we do not only accept, sorry, we do encourage individual bookings as well. But she's absolutely right. It does lend itself, it's a really strong fit for group business as well. Let's talk about Beachcomber. We got to tell you a little bit on that fam trip. Since then, there's been a lot more released. Anything in particular that you're excited about? What do you think about the port of call, the home port rather? Some of the new places that we're going to be visiting. So places that are new to us: San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, all three of the ABC islands. Instead of just Aruba and Curacao that Islander currently does, it's going to be going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and a lot of other really cool and exciting destinations. Is there anything in particular that's got you really excited? It being the newest, the biggest, where it's
A
ported.
couple of things. A couple of things I'm excited about.
All right,
First of
talk to us.
all, we're going to Miami. That's first of all. We're going to
I'm hot,
Miami.
hot, hot, right? Like
Hot,
it's
hot,
definitely
hot.
hot down there.
We're going to Miami. So I'm excited that the pre-cruise that we're going to be in Miami, we're going to be on South Beach, we're going to be eating some good Cuban food, we're going to be having the time of our life. So I'm excited about that. With your Latin roots, I know you're excited to be leaving down out of the Latin call of the port of call in Miami.
Absolutely.
Because
Remember that was home
every
for
time
30
I'm
years
in
for me.
Miami, I still think I'm somewhere in the Caribbean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that was home for 30 years. So it's definitely, I'm very excited to be able to go back home for work. So now I'm in St. Pete, which I absolutely love. Also, shout out to St. Pete in the Tampa area. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's definitely the pre and the post, as well as, it is the world's largest cruise port. People are
Mhm.
accustomed to cruising out of Miami. So it's definitely a great home port for that ship.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it being a big ship. I like big
right.
ships. I like the bigger the better. I'm looking forward to the ABC Islands. One of the things that I was so excited, you remember, I was jumping up and down when we were on our call and you said we're going to the ABC Islands. That's huge. That's huge. So many people, that is a bucket list cruise for them is the ABC Islands. Just because you want to say I went to the ABC Islands,
Right,
you
right.
feel fancy when you say that. I went to
Is
Curacao.
Curaçao, absolutely. Bonbini to any Curaçaoans or any Dutch Caribbean folks watching. All right, so we are almost done. Guys, I want to thank Trish, my wonderful friend. Thank you so much for spreading some of your villainy and some of your tips and tricks when it comes to Margaritaville at Sea. If you are not already registered, please do join us on our agent portal at MVAS Trade Wins, no D, Trade Wins, because you're going to be winning.com. So that's MVASTRADEWINS.com. There you're going to find out about upcoming webinars, FAM opportunities, marketing material, and a whole bunch more. You can get in contact with your salesperson. If you're with one of the major hosts, I'm going to be your guide, director of national accounts here at Margaritaville at Sea. If not, I can certainly reach out to me and I can get you in contact with your assigned BDM. I am going to leave you with that. Until next time, keep your flip flops on, your mic hot, and your compass pointed towards the sun. There we go. Exactly. Exactly. Look out for the sharks. Land sharks or otherwise. Trish, thank you once again. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for taking the time to watch us. And until I see you on the sea, bye bye.